Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including Tesla's Ludicrous Model 3 launch, the 6 millionth Tesla, Cybertruck updates, and more. So let's get into it, and a special thanks to Star Trek Fleet Command for sponsoring a portion of this video. First up today, Tesla hit a huge milestone this week, even as we're seeing their overall growth rate slow a bit. Tesla themselves has specifically said that they are in between growth waves as they ramp Cybertruck and prepare for the next-gen Tesla. Currently, they've talked about that car coming by the end of 2025, but still their main two cars are the Model Y and Model 3, and they keep pumping. Right now, they make the Model 3 in two factories, Fremont and Shanghai, but we've seen hints that Giga Texas may be producing that car soon. Then for the Model Y, they make that in Fremont, Texas, Shanghai, and Berlin. The Cybertruck exclusively comes from Texas, and then the Model S and X come from Fremont. Things will scale up much quicker past these numbers after the next-gen Tesla comes to market, but they officially announced that they have produced their 6 millionth vehicle. They tweeted that and added, "Thank you to our owners and teams around the world for your support and hard work. It truly matters." While we've seen a lot about how EV demand is slowing, the reality of this situation is that overall growth rate is slowing, since it's much harder to grow at the same percentage when making that many more cars. Sawyer Merritt summarized the timeline of Tesla's production up to 6 million vehicles and how long each stage took. It took Tesla 12 years to make 1 million cars, 15 months to make the next million, 10 months to get to 3 million, 7 months to 4 million, 6.5 months to 5 million, and then another 6.5 months to 6 million. As you can see, the last 2 million cars were produced at the same rate, so that does show their growth rate, quote, slowing, but they are producing 1 million cars every 6.5 months, which is far better than any other comparable EV brand. It's really impressive to see, and we'll see how much things speed up for the next million cars that they make, which should come before the end of this year. The Cybertruck may end up making much more of a dent than many expect in these numbers as well. Next up today, we've talked a lot lately about the unusual rollout of one of Tesla's most recent vehicles, the refreshed Model 3. The base and long-range variants of that car were first released back in September of last year in China, and it brought some significant improvements to an already great car. Then those models appeared for sale in the US at the very beginning of this year. Since its initial release though, this new car has been very conspicuously missing its performance trim. Through various leaks over the past few months, we've seen that this car would be something special, and it would be called Ludicrous. And for the first time in a performance Tesla, it would bring significant changes to the exterior and interior. With various leaks and promotional shoots happening for this car, we knew it would be coming fairly soon, but then suddenly things started leaking on April 1st. Chris Zhang posted some photos of the Model 3 Ludicrous set up and ready for an unveil. Here we can confirm that this is the new model because it's covered up, and the uncovered wheels in the back are absolutely the ones we've seen leaked. There also appear to be parts of the vehicle on display here, and most expect this to be the upgraded adaptive suspension that will be exclusive to the Ludicrous model. Outside, they also had a lineup of 6 covered Model 3s, and then a few more were spotted. These were reportedly taken in California as Tesla prepares for a sudden surprise unveil event on April 1st. This is different than usual since it is only unveiling a new trim for an existing vehicle and is reportedly exclusive to invited press. At the same time here, another photo of a Ludicrous Model 3, possibly taken at these locations overnight, was spotted. It clearly has the badge on there, and then this has Tesla's Texas manufacturer plates, which is very interesting to see. It could indicate it being made at Giga Texas or simply being tested there. Over in Malibu, more photos of the Ludicrous Model 3 were spotted, and Franz's black-wrapped Cybertruck was there as well. Looking straight on, we can clearly see that this car features that updated front bumper. A video of this car driving a bit was posted, and then another black Ludicrous Model 3 was spotted uncovered on a car carrier in California. Along with those photos, the rumors were going around that the 0 to 60 would be coming in at 2.9 seconds. That's an improvement over the previous Performance Model 3's 3.1 seconds, but improvements are supposed to come in other areas as well. The biggest hint of all, though, came from Drew Baglino. He posted a photo of him back with the Model 3, saying, quote, "Throwback to 8 years ago after a super successful Model 3 launch event, ... That ellipsis seemed to be hinting directly that on its 8-year unveil anniversary, Tesla would be unveiling a new Model 3. Rumors going into this included everything we've seen in these latest photos: updated bucket seats inside, carbon fiber interior trim pieces, upgraded motors, and an adaptive suspension. That suspension will likely be the biggest change over previous versions of this car. This event appears to have happened privately, and we are still waiting to see this car's unveiled to the public. It should be any minute now, so I'll be sure to keep you posted. I was very surprised not to see it fully unveiled to order earlier in the day, as I expected Tesla to want to be ahead of their delivery numbers announcement. Those delivery numbers are expected to be a little bit lower than usual, so unveiling this new Model 3 right before it would help ease some of that pain potentially. Next up today, the Cybertruck is a remarkably built tough vehicle that had a lot of thought and care put into its design and safety specifications. However, no vehicle can ever be perfect, and some customers have pointed out areas that may be potentially causing some problems if left unaddressed. While some were definitely cases of fear-mongering being driven by the truck's detractors, some people found real areas where this truck's safety could be improved. Soon after the Cybertruck was released, a video went viral after somebody stuck a carrot into the automatic closing front trunk, and it was able to easily slice through it. This spawned a lot of copycat videos where people stuck more vegetables, aluminum cans, and any number of things into their frunk to see how much damage it would cause. While these videos were certainly pretty amusing, it did prompt a serious discussion over the safety of this mechanism and what might happen if the frunk closed onto somebody's actual finger. Well, it was only a matter of time until somebody put that idea to the test. Now, of course, we do not recommend that you try this at home, but one YouTuber purposely closed his frunk onto his hand to see what would happen. In the first test, he closed the frunk onto his hand while he was wearing a padded work glove. The frunk bounced off of his hand almost as soon as it made contact, and no damage was done. Then he decided to try it out without the glove. Amazingly, the frunk went down all the way and successfully latched, while not crushing or cutting his hand, but still hurting quite a bit. Even with the knowledge that it didn't do as much harm as some may expect, it seems that Tesla has been working hard to bring out an update to make this feature even safer all around. The Cybertruck's chief engineer posted on X, quote, "Big improvement coming via over-the-air. Team worked super hard on this, so many carrots." It's great to see that Tesla took this so seriously, and that we are soon going to be getting a safety update to improve something that was clearly a bit of an oversight before. In the meantime though, if you do own a Cybertruck, still be very careful around that frunk. Another potential safety concern that some had regarding this truck came from an unlikely place, the unfinished metal exoskeleton itself. A lot of people were particularly concerned that the Cybertruck's stainless steel exterior may get dangerously hot if left parked in the sun. One Cybertruck owner took an infrared thermometer and directly compared the surface temperatures of several cars of varying colors. He measured a white car, black car, metallic silver car, and of course the Cybertruck. As you would expect, the black car left in the sun reported a very high surface temperature of nearly 145 degrees Fahrenheit. The metallic silver color clocked at 144 degrees, followed by the white car at 107, and then the Cybertruck at 106. Some people have pointed out that infrared thermometers aren't as effective when measuring reflective surfaces, but the poster did confirm that it felt much cooler to the touch than the black car. While this test does leave some room for improvement, it does show that some of these fears around the Cybertruck's surface temperature are a bit overblown. We'll have to see similar tests performed in the middle of summer with a more reliable surface thermometer, but it's unlikely to be any hotter than a black car and may even be much cooler. The Cybertruck is a really unique vehicle, and it's understandable that some people may have questions or concerns about some of its more unusual features. So if you have one or are thinking about getting a Cybertruck, you can rest easy knowing that its exoskeleton won't burn you at the touch, and that Tesla is working to improve frunk safety. So beyond that, you are left with a pretty remarkable truck with a ton of great features to enjoy. Before we go any further, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Star Trek Fleet Command. Star Trek Fleet Command is an MMO game available on desktop and mobile. Recruit legendary characters to crew iconic ships from over 50 years of Star Trek stories, and send them on missions to expand your territory. To become a commander of your own starship, click my link in the description below, or scan this QR code if you're watching on desktop. Then use the promo code WARPSPEED to receive a new player content pack for free. Pause this video here for instructions on how to redeem your free content. Next up today, one of Tesla's most exciting and truly revolutionary products is one that most people will never get a chance to drive, and may not even know exists. Their fully electric semi-truck is currently a very low volume product that they produce out of Giga, Nevada, but that has the potential to completely upend the shipping industry. This isn't a consumer-facing vehicle, and since it's still in such low quantities, we tend not to hear too much about how this project is going. Last year, Tesla announced a major expansion at Giga, Nevada to expand semi-production, but they didn't break ground on that expansion until early this year. Recently, however, Tesla's chief semi-engineer, Dan Priestley, put out a tweet that gave us a rare insight into the growth of that program. He says, quote, "Every day the Tesla Semi demonstrates that battery electric trucks can directly replace diesel trucks. With our own fleet of semis, Tesla has shipped over 20,000 battery packs out of Gigafactory Nevada to support Fremont vehicle builds. These trucks run the same route carrying the same load, no load reduction for weight, as the diesel trucks running this route, but at substantially lower operating cost. Now it's about scale." He goes on to discuss new EPA regulations that restrict tailpipe emissions from heavy-duty trucks and how it will impact adoption going forward. Alongside these new rules, he adds, in combination with the superior economics and experience that battery electric trucks provide, I expect full market adoption will occur faster than many think. It will probably be some time before Tesla is able to finish the expansion at Giga Nevada and really ramp up semi-production. Still, it's really exciting to see how effective an electric semi-truck can truly be. Once they can scale this vehicle effectively, we're going to pretty quickly reach a point where it doesn't make any sense to make deliveries using diesel trucks. Much like their smaller consumer-facing siblings, electric semi-trucks offer a ton of advantages that will become even more enticing as the technology develops. Currently, these semis are only being used by Pepsi in California and by Tesla to make deliveries between Nevada and Fremont. If they ramp up production soon, it may not be long before we start to see even more brands adopting this vehicle. Next up today, Tesla is pretty widely known for their unique pricing structure that is constantly reacting to a number of market factors. They are always monitoring production levels, their supply, customer demand, and more to determine how they should be pricing their cars. Sometimes their cars drop in price pretty considerably, and other times they do unfortunately go up. Last month, Tesla announced that they would be increasing the price of all Model Y trims by $1,000 at the start of April. This was really interesting to see because it's a departure from the way that Tesla normally drives sales at the end of a quarter. Normally, we see them offer temporary price reductions in order to boost sales, but this time they warned everyone of an impending price increase as a way to nudge anyone on the fence about buying a Model Y. Well, Tesla kept to their word, and on April 1st, they raised the price of all three Model Y trims. The base rear-wheel drive model is now available for sale at $44,990, long range is at $49,990, and the performance trim is at $53,490. All of these trims are still completely eligible for the full $7,500 EV tax credit in the US. Given how much Tesla tends to tweak the pricing of their vehicles, I wouldn't expect these current prices to last super long before we see them change them again, but there's no telling in what direction or by how much they will change. If you are interested in getting a Model Y, Tesla is still offering a ton of inventory and demo units for sale with some pretty steep discounts. Many demo vehicles are seeing price reductions upwards of $7,000 and then can still receive the full tax credit deduction as well. If you can find an inventory Model Y in the configuration that you want, this may be the most economical way to get a hold of this car. We'll have to see how long this change stays in effect and if forewarning price increases is going to be Tesla's new preferred way to drive end-of-quarter sales. As always, we're still waiting the arrival of the refreshed Juniper Model Y. It may not come for a while, but it's surely affecting sales of the Model Y, at least to a degree. Last up today, some updates from other automakers. Electric vehicles are at a very tricky point in the course of their worldwide adoption. Some manufacturers, like Tesla and BYD, are doing very well, and others are having trouble bringing successful cars to market. As such, a lot of companies are reassessing their EV plans and downsizing to make up for those slow sales. One of those companies is Stellantis, who just announced a mass layoff of around 1,900 employees in the US and Europe. In the US, around 400 salaried tech workers were fired in a mass video call, likely to shift those jobs to other countries with cheaper labor. Meanwhile, in Italy, the automaker announced it was cutting over 1,500 jobs at its Fiat headquarters due to slow sales of the electric 500e. This move comes only a few months after Stellantis announced a previous batch of temporary layoffs, adding up to 2,250 employees. Over half of the affected employees were involved in the production of the Fiat 500e. Stellantis has promised to bring 8 new EV models to the US by the end of the year, but these recent layoffs make the company's commitment to electrification seem a little questionable. People losing their jobs is never good, but hopefully they are able to sort out their production woes by bringing EVs to the market that inspire customers. Next up today, Fisker is in some deep financial troubles as the automaker has just hired consultants that specialize in bankruptcy filings. Fisker has reported a lot of financial troubles lately. Their stock is at risk of being delisted due to low share price, and they recently suggested in their quarterly report that there is substantial doubt that they can carry on operations. The company has been seeking new outside investment, and some reports suggest that they are pursuing a partnership with Nissan to produce electric trucks. They recently showed off the design for their Alaska pickup truck alongside their Pear compact car and Ronin sports car. While Fisker claims that they make money off sales of their Ocean SUV, the costs associated with running a direct sales model have made it difficult for them to scale. As such, the company recently announced that they would be moving away from direct sales towards a more traditional dealer model. The company had another major shock after the Wall Street Journal reported that the company had recently hired financial consultants to potentially declare bankruptcy. Their share prices dropped considerably after the report, but a follow-up statement from Fisker indicated that they were working on acquiring new capital and developing a partnership with a large automaker. Only a few days later, though, they announced that deal had fallen through, and they were looking to pursue alternative strategies. On top of that, Fisker dropped prices significantly, with the main trims of the Ocean dropping anywhere from 34 to 39%. It now starts as low as $25,000 for a brand new Ocean, which is clearly Fisker trying to sell whatever they can in the midst of this crisis. At the same time as well, Tesla has suspended Fisker Ocean trade-ins, quote, due to significant market uncertainty on Fisker Ocean vehicles that have disrupted the expected value of these vehicles. Fisker is clearly in a very tough spot right now, having just announced that they would be halting production for 6 weeks while they seek new investments. This is a critical time for any company when they have to either learn how to scale or fail trying. As they brace to potentially be delisted from the New York Stock Exchange, analysts think it's increasingly likely that the automaker is going to go bankrupt. We'll have to see if they can successfully get a new lifeline or if this downturn marks the end of Fisker. Only time will tell. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see the top hidden tips and tricks for Tesla owners, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.